We're live. Yep, there we go. Perfect. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Great to be out here once again and bringing you guys yet another new league to the channel. We've got the Hobo Racing League, Hoboken Racing League, if you want to be formal about it. But yeah, another new league. We've got you guys Bomb Squad. Of course, the NSCRA just wrapped up. But now we've got the series of races that we're going to be covering here for this group of guys on Sunday nights, a couple of Sunday nights and a good few Tuesday nights going forward here. Tuesdays will be the Cup Series, but for tonight it is going to be the Fixed Setup Truck Series with a new yet classic mod. It is the Vintage Truck Series 65 mod, or VTS 65 mod. Yeah, these things are freaking cool. I think you guys are going to be in for a real treat here. We're at Atlanta, the game track, fixed setup, of course, and we're even going to be able to get talking with one of the guys who's kind of volunteered as kind of an in-race reporter kind of sorts. But thank you to Hobo Racing League and primarily Keith McLean, the guy that allowed this to happen, and of course the admins here at Hobo, one of which popped in chat a little while earlier, Dan Rubino. Of course, Steve is in this race. Steve Rubino, the head admin here at Hobo. And yeah, we've got a great truck count here tonight. I'm counting 26 in TeamSpeak. So I think we're going to be in for a great night here. And it's going to be made even better by the fact that I've got a guy in the booth here that I've not had in a long time. And it is great to have him back here again. Mr. Blaine Donlon of TarnationTV.
That's me. Hey, man. Yeah, great to be here. This is going to be a lot of fun. Stock Atlanta on a truck mod I've never used before, and it looks super cool, super detailed. A lot of really cool paint jobs out there. Of course, the talent, too. This league's been around for a very long time, so I'm going to have to get used to some new names in here, man. But yeah, thanks for the invite.
Oh, yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate you stepping up and joining in on this thing. Yeah, big count, a lot of guys and a lot of talented drivers here as well. So I think we're going to be in for a great one here. I was just about to whisper this guy, and this guy will be kind of serving as a bit of an in-race reporter. We'll try to talk to him if we get any cautions or maybe kind of get an idea of what's going on. But this is the guy who's making it happen here, Keith McLean, and Keith, I'll just ask you after you just qualified fourth, kind of give everyone at home a bit of an idea of kind of how these trucks are going to be driving out there.
They're going to be fast for like the first 4 or 5 laps, and then it's going to get tight, start getting tight. So it's going to be a struggle. You just got to manage your tires. We brought Steve Rubino, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who runs the league. Just wanted to bring him in here and let him tell you a little bit about the league.
Oh, yeah, sounds good. Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
Hey guys. So what do y'all want to know? I mean, yeah, we run 3 nights a week. Tuesday nights is open setups, run the cup cars, the gen cars. And then on Thursday nights is the modifieds, wheeling modifieds and the fixed setup. And then tonight, Sunday night, is we're running these new 65 trucks, which are pretty cool, I have to say.
Oh, yeah, these things look awesome. Just looking at all these different schemes and everything. You guys got a great operation going on here. It looks like we got a nice count here of 26 drivers from my count here in TeamSpeak. I do just want to confirm. It looks like you guys pretty much run realistic damage pretty much in all your series.
Yeah, except for super speedways. That's the only time we run moderate, which is Daytona and Talladega, basically.
Gotcha. Okay, and I believe that we've got some more racing that we'll be bringing you guys here for the next couple of Tuesday nights, and I think it follows the same schedule as the truck series, correct?
Yeah, it follows NASCAR pretty much, except for the road courses. We pretty much don't do the road courses, but we'll throw in some extra tracks for those. But yeah, it pretty much follows the schedule.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I don't want to hold you guys up here too much. We got 2 minutes here in happy hour, so I'll just say best of luck to you both, and yeah, I'm glad to be on board, man. Thank you both for allowing me to do this.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks, Keith.
Appreciate you, brother. You got it. Yeah,
later.
We got
good luck,
4
gentlemen.
more.
User left your channel.
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll see you.
Yeah, you bet.
So
let those guys get back at it, man. I was going to say too, the the website hoboracing.com, man, they got a lot of stuff on there. I checked out their download section, and they probably have every single track ever made in there. It's crazy. I was scrolling through the short track list, and it's like 10 pages long.
Oh yeah, they got like so much like information and like downloads and everything. And like, if it exists, it's probably for NR2003. It's probably on their download page. The link is in the description to their website. You can certainly kind of check out what they're all about. The rule book's on there. And if you were interested in racing here, which I would say another great place to be for good quality racing, definitely hit up Steve Rubino. And
We got Ann Rubino and Daniel Rubino in the chat.
You could tell it's runs in the family with the Rubinos here.
That's really cool, man. This league's been around a long time, and their website's super tidy too. Like you know what you need, you can go get it.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that they house so much stuff, and currently right now we've got 29 drivers connected to the server here on a Sunday evening. And this 27 DMR, is it D? I can't remember the name of the website where this mod comes from.
I think it's the Design Mod Racing, I believe.
Or DES Mod Racing, DES Mod Racing, something like that.
Yeah, I think it's Design Mod Racing, something like that.
DMR, yeah. And it's either way, like you can find it. If you just look up DMR tracks, you'll find this guy's website. He's made a lot of these mods. Like when we say mod, we're talking about the vehicle that we're looking at. Mm-hmm. The trucks you see, the car you see, like that's what we deem as a mod. The tracks are completely separate, which I guess would also be a mod too, because you're modifying the game.
Oh yeah.
But these trucks, they're the older trucks, but like a lot of really fine detail in these things. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Like even just looking at the front grille, like they've done a lot of work to put these things together, and out of nowhere they'll just brand new mod on the scene, and everybody adopted this one pretty quick.
Yeah, I know these guys jumped right on it. Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm looking at this list of drivers. Yeah, you're right. We're gonna have at least 27 or 28, which is going to be absolutely awesome.
Are we in the middle of a season right now? Are we tracking points this evening? What's going on?
This is only the second race of the season. I did not quite get a full picture of the Daytona results. All I know is that the 31 of Jeff Stakanis did win the first race last week. And yes, we are on YouTube. And really quickly, as we're about to kick it to the race session here, and indeed we just did, I'll get on off track really quick, but we've got the 78 of Ryan Johnson on pole with a 30, I believe. 31.157. Josh Boyer to his outside then in second. And you got Herman Reese, Keith McLean, Duke Sorensen up there as well in P5. And then on down the order. And yet we've got the command to fire him up here. So let's get you guys some live shots and check out these trucks.
Yeah, I think somebody in the YouTube chat there might have been wondering, like, we're on YouTube, but where's the race? Well, there was a lot of menu work going on Andrew's side. That's why we kind of covered up with the Hobo logo.
Yeah,
now that we can go live, we're going to go on the track now, and we'll be able to see some trucks.
Look at that pace car.
Pace car or truck?
Pace ambulance? It looks like an ambulance.
It does, yes.
Oh my gosh.
That's cool. It looks like an old,
Looks like something I would see at the AACA museum over here in Hershey. Oh man, that is so cool. Yeah, check out these trucks, man. This is awesome. I don't think I've ever streamed a league with a mod any older than like, oh geez, probably like the Gen 6 cars. So we're like, the original CTS mod. I think that's the oldest one I've ever streamed that I can remember.
Because that's the thing with the community, there's a lot of racing going on in a lot of different spots on the internet, and then we get in here and we're doing something like this. A lot of really common mods, like the bull ring mods, are really common. Of course, the Monster Energy 19 is a super common one, as well as trucks 09 and then the CWS 15. And then you've got dozens of other ones.
Oh yeah, there are endless. But here we go with the green flag racing here. First race of the Hobo Racing League here on the channel. 98 laps of Truck Series action, as I believe that's Sorensen.
Just doing some drifting.
Sideways. Somehow held on to it. Caution is out. I believe
Caution
they've
is
just
out.
wrecked in the back. Indeed they did. That is the 27, the Indiana Jones sponsored truck there of Rob Heath. Just went around. We're getting some lag spikes there. Apologies for that. That's just frame dropping. These things are so detailed that my game doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, some mods too. That's the thing. They end up getting so detailed if you got a little bit older computer. It's an old game and they're pushing it to the limit.
That's not a good start.
As there was Keith, that's not a good start. But seeing kind of what happened here. Rob Heath underneath a Fugate, and they actually just bounced off of the 9 of Fugate, and that's what sent them up into the wall there. Also, Andrew Heckman involved in the 70. And with this being realistic damage, that might be pretty bad. But
oh yeah, we talked about that in the pre-race. The realistic damage is pretty cool. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, no,
but there is damage, like physical damage, you can see on the cars that you can't see with between like moderate and realistic. Like, you know, if we ran like the Monster Energy 19 cars, most of the time it's moderate. You run that thing on realistic, those things start falling apart.
I can only imagine.
I just did a course lot, seemed to fix my weirdness.
Okay.
I was only able to see half the field. I don't know why. I mean, people don't care about my video game, but that's why I quit and then reconnected. If you're wondering, now the field seems to be all visible. I've had that happen before. It's why I've always got a couple of cores. Yeah. And it's nice not actually broadcasting it, because I could quit and come back in and nobody even knows, but they do, because I always have to talk about it.
I mean, at the end of the day,
a different pace truck now. Now it's blacked out.
Oh, that's weird.
I had the white one before, and then I had to quit and come back in, so I guess it's random.
As while we were kind of away there, I did just try to turn it down to some settings so that we don't get too many of those lag spikes. That's kind of the issue with I'm doing all this on a laptop in a separate plugin screen, and trying to manage all that while making it look as good as possible without blowing my stuff up. I'm still kind of in the process of kind of finding the optimum way of going about that, so that it gives you guys the best quality possible on stream. Well,
the stream looks great too. You got your ticker rolling there with all your ads and stuff, and
yeah,
shadows. You run shadows. Some guys can't even run the shadows. So
I think I have the shadows set to only show from the cars, not the structures, which definitely helped.
I think the structure shadows, unless you run an original cup mod, shadows from the structures would like cause a lot of problems, I find.
Yeah, I think that's what I've heard as well.
Yeah, they're always good to shut that off.
Kind of checking on some of the field here. So, yep, as we mentioned, there's Ryan Johnson, the pole sitter. Of course, led this thing from the outset. There's Josh Boyer. Watch for him to be competitive in that number 41. And you got Herman Reese there, another common driver to see up front here at Hobo in the 73 truck. I wouldn't be surprised to see him up front in the Cup race as well. That will, of course, be same time here Tuesday night. So that'll be something to behold. And then there's our in-race reporter there, Keith McLean. And probably my favorite scheme out there, the number 11 of Steve Grant.
Very cool.
Of the rust
aspect of old rusty ones. It's almost like the mod was released in the 60s and then nobody used it.
Yeah.
For, 50 or 60 years, and you're like, man, do you still have that car file? And you went back to get the old car file and it was all rusted out.
It's like, yeah, this will run, right?
Yeah, this will work, I think. It looked cool when I made it.
Last week's winner, Jeff Stakanis, right there in the 31. And then Mark DeSenza, 33. Duke Sorensen, 59. We saw him with a heck of a save. Rich Knappich in the 6. Ron Simpson 25, another beautiful truck there, along with Wiley King. And you got Ricky Bumbalo, or Ricky Bobby, as they call him here, in the 85, that beautiful Gas Monkey scheme. 14 is DJ Hinsky, Harry Codiane rather, in the 13. Probably the best paint scheme of all time. 69 there of
Yeah.
Mike Erickson. And you got EJ. That's all we know him as. E. Johnston there in the 49. 00 Gary Jackson. Steve Rubino. There's DJ in the 77. Another favorite scheme of mine for sure. I believe that's Scott Moyer. Yep, in the 30. Greg Stenzo. Fugate. VSR Eli. And then, of course, we saw Andrew Heckman, Heath, and then Chris Landry also out there, as well as Randy Smith in the 10. Golly, what a big stacked field that is. One of the biggest fields that we've had on the channel in quite some time. But coming back to the green flag here, tire's going to be cold, so we'll have to see if they're able to get through turns 1 and 2 here, which was always treacherous on the restarts.
Perfect timing on going through that field and timing it with the green.
I don't know how I pulled that off.
Yeah, it was perfect. The couple of trucks did pit. We've got the bottom half of the field, not the bottom half. The last 5 cars have pit a couple times. Just because they're at the back, you're not going to lose much track position going in back there. So, shows that Chris Landry and Randy Smith have each pitted twice already. And then we've got Heckman, Heath, and BSR Eli all pitting once. Probably just, topping up fuel, maybe taking tires. Yellow is out again.
Washing back out again. Big problems turns 3 and 4. There's Scott Moyer in the 30 and big damage for Eli in the 114. And 00 of Gary Jackson is smoking up a storm here. Something nasty has occurred here in turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, I'm looking at Rubino, the 07, Steve Rubino.
Oh, goodness.
Actually, it's the 00. Jackson goes in there and the thing just drifts down the track. He got loose.
Yep, there's that cold tire syndrome there.
Oh, and that caused a
Rubino.
roadblock. Yeah.
Big hit there, and from the 30, big hit, and that is what is going to end his night very prematurely.
Yeah, I think that definitely cooked a couple of trucks, unfortunately.
Yeah, realistic damage, even on moderate damage, I think some of those hits would have been pretty catastrophic.
Yeah, Gary Jackson, the 00, got loose in the corner and ended up getting knocked around more than once. It looks like he's probably heading to the pits right now. He's definitely dropping.
And VSR Eli
fluids.
Actually spun on his own further back, probably checking up in anticipation of what was going on.
Yeah, that's the thing. He was far enough back to not, to get the big picture, but sometimes you just can't control what's going to happen, right?
And on board with Fugate here in the 9. Way up the road here. And there's the impact. And everyone going around. Good job. Kind of knowing where to go there for the 9.
Impact is one word for it.
Yeah, impact. Perhaps an understatement.
It's clobbering time.
That is, clubbing time.
Yeah, he had that figured out, but it's just like everything happens so quick when you're doing, 190 mile an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a bit ugly.
And I've got my eye on the 00 here, Gary Jackson. He's in the pits, but has not retired. So he's, even though that thing was belching black smoke after that T-bone, he's trying to get it fixed. It was a side impact, but black smoke usually dictates, or it usually means there's engine damage. So hopefully that thing stays together for him.
Chris Landry coming down pit road along with Randy Smith. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know how he's going to be pace-wise.
Mm-hmm. Probably definitely be off pace, but like these points races are a big thing. If he can even if he can go out there and run 10 laps, even if he's a little bit slower, if there's another caution flag, he might be able to leapfrog. Even if you leapfrog one driver, that's an extra stack of points.
Absolutely, yeah. And these guys got
You
a
know?
season-long championship that they're going after, and it is
Yep.
pretty much season-long. Like this is a long championship that these guys have.
And that's the thing too. If you're thinking
goes to
it comes
November.
down to that last race, and it's a matter of 10 or 15 points. You know, if you get into an accident like that early on a track like this, and you go, "Oh, you know, this race sucks," and then you just quit, but there's still 90 laps left. You
There's
could
points on the
leapfrog a
table.
bunch of guys. Like, yeah, there's points on the table. He can get out there and run, even if he's running 20 mile an hour slower than everybody else. He'll get out of the way. But if there's more accidents, those cars might actually be forced to retire, and then he's going to get those spots.
Oh yeah,
Always worth staying in it. I mean, I do the same thing. If I connect to a race, I'm there for the whole thing, unless I'm forced to actually retire. Like if you take a damaged car out there and it eventually blows up, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, but then you get those few more laps, and in that time, as you said, you never know if someone else may have the same exact issue.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like if he hits the pits, 00 goes on to pit road and it takes him 3 laps to fix that truck. We're only at lap 10 of 98. So he comes back out and he starts racing, and then, you know, another accident happens and somebody retires. If he's 6 laps down, well, after 6 laps, he's going to get that spot.
Mm-hmm. He's just got to maintain it.
Then you're going to get 5 more points, 10 more points. I don't know how these guys run points. If it's game-generated points, it's 5 per position, I think.
Yeah, I'm not positive on the exact. Or actually, I can pull it up here. Actually,
some leagues modify that, and they'll do like 1 point per position, but the game will generate 5 point spread per position, and then like bonus points for leading laps and leading the most laps. Mm-hmm. Other leagues take into different. Every league is completely different. Like tonight, we're running realistic damage with caution flags on an original track, and then other leagues they'll never run an original track, and they'll run an open setup, and the yellows will be on, but they're controlled by the admins.
Right, yeah.
And some leagues have tire limits, so you can only pit for tires. You get 4 sets of tires the set you start with, and you can make 3 more stops. It's like there's lots of variables. Green is going back up.
And all kinds of different stuff for everybody out there. Yep, we are back to green flag racing. I was just looking at the point standings. I was able to pull them up, and it looks like they're kind of going with like an original points format from. I don't know what it is, but all I know is that whoa, Keith! Oh, Keith, hold on! Oh no, that's around into the inside wall. Andrew Heckman's spinning in the back. Will that be the yellow flag? I believe so.
It is up.
Wow. These things are dancing loose on these cold tires, and if I remember anything...
Maybe that'll loosen it up a little bit.
From Are you sure about that?
That's the thing.
I don't know what the hell happened.
It's
just snapped.
That's Keith McLean talking there, saying, yeah, just snapped around. Actually, you know what?
The yellow wouldn't have come out for Keith. The yellow actually would have come out for the 70, I think.
Yeah, Andrew Heckman was spinning in the back there.
Yeah, because Keith actually spun off the racetrack, so the yellow would not have come out for him. It actually would have been the number 70 at Heckman. Same thing happened to him. He got a little bit loose mid-corner. He almost held on to it, actually, but because he's actually on the track and there's trucks coming, the yellow came out for that. I was wondering where the yellow came up for Keith, because usually if you're outside the racing, like the actual racetrack, like below the line, it's not going to deem you as a hazard.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it came out for the 70.
Pull them up real quick. Yeah, I was actually just about to ask you, Keith. It seems like just with these cold tires, and I think I remember that about this track, cold tires are just so treacherous out there, and it seems like it's catching out a whole lot of guys who saw Duke Sorensen nearly lose it earlier, and of course, a lot of other issues, and I could tell that it's kind of the same thing may bit you there.
Yeah, I went down in there, all of a sudden it started getting loose. I'm like, what in the world? It's been tight, but yeah, it's got to be cold tire.
Yep, I know the feeling. So hopefully I can get that thing fixed up for you, and Hopefully we'll be able to see you back up at the front here soon.
Got saws out.
Oh, that's not good. That truck's not going to have a rear end here in a moment. Oh, well, actually, apparently so. And then you run over the poor pit guy just for good measure. Good job. And to give him some
Got
grief
the
for that.
saws out and I hit no on the damage. No saw.
No saws, so
Yeah.
stop that one. Oh, that's too good. Yeah, we'll take another look here at Keith's spin. We'll go spectator cam here. This will be a kind of a neat view. So we're coming off turn 2. There it starts to kick around. He's trying to catch it, and there's only so much you can do at that point.
Yeah. Hammers and saws. You don't want both.
No. I mean, if you hear hammers, that's one thing. If you hear the saw, ooh, that's going to be a horrible pain.
Yeah.
That means they're
Parts are
shearing,
coming off.
taking off parts, yeah.
Yeah. Trucks that are pitting. A couple more coming down here now. Chris Landry, Randy Smith again.
Yeah, I think those guys are just kind of playing the game of like, you know what, those guys are getting really squirrely in front of us. Let's just hang out back here and we'll just let them sort it out.
If we could get 3 or 4 laps under the belt here, we could get these things warmed up. They'd be, like you said, they're loose, they're tight, they're a little bit hard to figure out, but we haven't even got them warmed up yet. So
yeah, we haven't gone a full lap as of yet here, lap 14 of 98. What I was just going to mention, though, as far as the points go, obviously Jeff Stukanis is leading, winning the first and only race so far of the season. But he got 185 points toward that total. So if that kind of tells you anything about the point system. And then he got 175 points for second place there, which was Josh Boyer. Herman Reese finished third with 165. Mark DeSenza also with 165. He finished fourth. That's probably with some laps led bonuses in there. So yeah, that's kind of a I don't know exactly which points format that would be, but if that gives everyone kind of a rough indication of what these guys are working with. And then you also get 40 points for a provisional, as I'm looking at here. So yeah, they had 26 drivers start last week, and we had 27, I do believe, start this time around. So
nice.
It's like I've said, this is a pretty stout league here, and the car counts are still incredibly high. And I think the car count will be even higher on Tuesday night for the Cup Series. I wouldn't be surprised if we're over 30 for that one. Of course, JTN did the Daytona race last week. We'll be bringing you guys Atlanta. This very track on Tuesday, Cup Physics, open setup. It is going to be a ball, that's for sure. And then we'll also bring you guys coverage from Las Vegas for this series, the Truck Series. That is March 16th. And then, of course, a few Tuesdays that we'll be doing, I believe, through the month of March. We'll be bringing you guys the Cup races as well.
You do a fair amount of broadcasting for Hobo, eh?
We've just started, but yeah, just kind of based on what me and Keith were talking about, I think we've got at least through March pretty well covered here.
That's cool. I was just checking out the 27 here of Rob Heath, the Indiana Jones truck, and from the cockpit view, I was checking out all the busted windshields. It's cool.
Yeah.
I think depending on the make that you're driving, they actually have different smashed patterns.
Oh my
Some
gosh,
of them are
that's funny.
Busted in the top corner with a crack straight through the middle. His is kind of down in the center. Very cool mod, man. This is awesome.
Yeah, you don't see cracked windshield mods too often.
No.
Let's see what we get through here this time.
I don't even know how they did it, because I don't think I've ever seen busted windshields. I know they accumulate dirt.
Mm-hmm. Everyone getting her going here. 00 has retired. Forgot to mention that earlier on, but everyone's getting through turns 3 and 4 here. We're going to make it clean and green. Oh, not
my
quite.
Goodness. Nope.
Eli.
Hard hit.
Very hard hit into the wall, but keeps it straight, and he's in the grass, so I think he'll be okay, albeit he's going to retire.
Yeah.
And the green is still out, so.
He hit that wall hard. Holy moly.
He hit that wall a ton, as Larry Mack would say.
Yeah.
And I think he said, all right, that's enough.
The back part of the field here, Ron Simpson. What we got? Ron Simpson, Chris Landry, Randy Smith, and Andrew Heckman. They're all just kind of hanging out back there. They seem to have dropped off from the pack pretty fast, but that's probably on purpose.
Boy. I'm looking up front here, and despite everything that we've just been through with these cautions, these guys are right on top of each other. Ryan Johnson still leading this thing, has not relinquished the lead since the green. And everyone else still right on top of each other. Boyer second, Reese third, Steve Grant and Jeff Stakane is about to do battle here for P4. But they settle that down. There's Duke Sorensen. Do not have that truck, unfortunately. But that's all right. It still actually kind of works.
Yeah, I don't have the 59. Is that Sorensen?
That
yes,
is Sorensen.
It is. Yeah, I don't have the. That's the only one I don't have is the 59.
Rich Napick there in the 6. Currently running P7. Thank you, Lifelike, for the kind words. 20 laps now complete, and I should also probably mention, as history tends to kind of point toward with these CTS races here at this track, fuel window is probably going to be in the realm of about 30 to 33. Tire window, though, you may want to come in a little sooner because those things are right plowing. Good to see you in Eli. Good to see you in chat, Eli. Oh my gosh, I almost got that mixed up. But sorry about your luck, man. And hey, hopefully we'll be able to see you out here on Tuesday, or Wednesday or Thursday, because we're bringing Bomb Squad racing a truck and cup from Talladega for this week. Yikes. Yeah, this is a busy week here on the channel, but it's awesome to be able to bring you guys this stuff, and I have a lot of fun with it. And hey, it's even more fun when you got someone like Blaine up here, to be honest.
Yeah, when you get two people, it's tough doing. I've done them by myself before too, and it's not the most fun thing. Because if you have to work on something, at least you know the second guy. You know, now, for instance, right now I'm talking, and I probably won't stop talking for a couple more seconds. This is a perfect time for you to take a drink of water. You know, there's all those kind of things. It's like I could take a drink of water. I could take you got a 6-pack of muffins sitting there. You can start chowing down on some lunch.
A whole 6-pack. I was gonna say that's.
They call me the Muffin Man.
That's a lot of muffins to be chowing down on in one race. I mean, I know that Keith can chow down a 6-pack of beers in a race, but I don't know if I can do muffins.
Yeah. What's cool too? Have you ever done a 3-man broadcast?
I have a few times, and honestly, one of my favorite ones was it was an NSCRA Pro. Boy, Duke Sorensen up into the wall, saves it.
That's how I know something's going on at the front of the pack, because I'm watching the back of the pack.
I got
when you go all the noises of Andrew at Top Dragster.
Oh, there are many noises, some of which make it sound like there's
3 wide back here if you want to focus on the 77.
There's 3 wide, really?
Yeah, these guys are clumped up pretty good back here. They've gone 3 wide a couple of times.
Oh, they're about to get stacked up here a little bit. Yeah, they are. 33.
I jinxed it.
Spinning. Mark DeSenza. Caution.
I jinxed it. I was watching this for the past 3 or 4 laps, and these guys were just doing awesome. And then I said focus on it, and then I'm
glad you called it.
Yeah. Damn, I didn't do that on purpose, guys.
Although, yeah, Blaine, you had to bring up muffins because now you have summoned Jovan Anderson in the chat.
Yeah.
These trucks do look awesome. I do agree with that.
These trucks look great.
What I was just about to say, though, before that happened, is we'll go and take a look at what sent Mark DeSenza in the 33 spinning. It was an NSCRA Pro Series race, and it was me, Zach Rogers, and Josh Chu in the booth. And oh my gosh, that was a riot. That was awesome. I would love to do that again. Of course, Zach is kind of one of my main guys up here now, and really, really grateful for that. And a lot of the stuff that he's been able to help me with as well. I've had so much help along the way in getting this whole streaming thing going. I'm talking all this over Mark DeSenza getting spun out by, I believe that was Wiley King that got into him.
Yeah, it was
totally not paying attention.
Yeah, it was definitely a gaggle of trucks back there.
Yeah, it looks like Wiley was kind of getting underneath. But
looks
then
like the majority of the field is coming down now.
I'm actually going to go on board with Keith here. We'll see if maybe we can kind of talk to him and see what he saw. Boink. And boy, that wasn't much. Yeah, I gotta think the whole field's gonna be pitting now. We've gone this long, and a lot of guys have not pitted yet.
Yeah.
We'll let
Just an
Keith get
update, too,
his
on the roster.
stop here.
Scott Moyer is retired 19 laps ago from an accident. Rubino out, same issue, accident 19 laps ago. Jerry Jackson did eventually retire, wheel problems, so there's something up there. And a couple more retired cars. Eli and Andrew Heckman have also been forced to leave the race. Dominating this race, by the way, Ryan Johnson, the 78, has so far led every single lap.
Yeah, he's been got that pole, and it's been looking pretty sporty ever since. I'll catch back up to the pace truck here.
Not going to lead this one because there a few trucks did stay out unless they pit.
Yeah.
Everybody currently in the race is on the lead lap, though. Lap down cars have retired.
See if I can get a quick word on from Keith as far as kind of what transpired in front of them there. Hey Keith, just wanted to check in on you. It looks like you had a bit of a front row seat there between what just happened with Wiley and DeCenzo there.
It looked like 95 might have pushed up a little bit there. What did it look like on the replay?
From my perspective, I would say it just looked like the 95 was kind of going for the gap there, but then the 33 was also kind of in a gaggle there, so just kind of looked like a case of two guys going for the same piece of real estate that was open and then it wasn't. Would be my guess.
Yep, that's what it looked like to me. I mean, Mark didn't have nowhere to go there. He was pulling up on the Playboy.
I mean, I don't blame him for that one, but you know.
Yeah.
We'll let you get back to it, man. Good luck.
10-4. I'm a little broke, but a little messed up, but it's still running good.
That's all that matters. Even this pace truck, yeah, it's
this whole mod is
friggin'
great.
light.
We were just
Absolutely
talking
love
before there on the caution laps. Ryan Johnson led every single lap. He did not lead that one. Irv Johnson, he decided to stay out and lead that one, so get some bonus points there. You do get bonus points for leading the A lap. You get more bonus points for leading the most laps. So that's good strategy call there by Irv. Looks like he's down below the apron now, so he stayed out to get the bonus point. Now he's headed to the pits in that 49 green rig.
In that lady lap, as it's often referred to. So Ryan Johnson will be the leader here with Josh Boyer second. Pretty familiar spot for those two. Steve Grant was able to gain a position or two here, along with Jeff Stakanis. Herman Reese actually dropped 2 spots on pit road there, but he will still be P5. Rich Napick up there, and DJ. Let me get that. Here we go. Harry Codion up there now in 8th. 9th.
49 took full service if you care.
I gotcha. Ricky Bumbalo up there in 9th, and Fugate now up into the top 10 here in truck number 9. We will be taking 70 laps to go this time by. And yeah, it's been a little sketchy here with these cautions. But if there was one trend that I've often seen, it is that usually once you get the first half jitters out of the way and you're able to kind of settle in with the cold tires, because, man, I think you and I have both been there, Blaine, with the cold tires on these restarts. These things just skate around so much on certain tracks, and it can be very, very difficult to hold. And yeah, you just got to be prepared for that kind of thing.
Oh, even the rear windows get broken too. This mod's awesome.
Oh, that is sick.
I'm in free cam now, just flying around out here, and the rear windows get smashed up too. And the driver models, they don't have helmets. They have the open face, which is pretty neat. So the drivers actually have like a nose and stuff.
And you got faces.
Yeah, they actually tried to do that with the other mods, and it looks like they look like aliens because it's designed to be a helmet. These guys actually remodeled the drivers.
Oh, that's too. Oh no, not the Playboy truck!
No.
Oh, hard in the wall. On the inside, though, we'll see if that's yellow or not.
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
It is not.
No,
Mike Erickson, though, hard in the inside wall. Josh Boyer from second place going spinning into the field. Hold on, boys. Oh, just got licked. and that was Herb Johnston.
Yep.
Keith McLean also on the inside of the track there, spun around. I have to watch that back, but I think that was a pretty darn good call on my part. Just saying.
Two trucks at the exact same time. If you go into spectator and you locked on the 11, it's almost like synchronized spinning.
The 11, you said, okay.
If you lock on 11 and use your spectator camera,
we get a good view of it. Okay.
Yeah, we've got. Who's
that.
actually spinning there? That's the 40. No.
Yeah, the 41 was the
41
was the one I saw going around.
Yeah, so the 41's going around, and so is the 9.
Yeah, the 9. Oh boy, yeah, they had a big crash further back there.
Yeah, they both spin at the exact same time, but in different sections of the track.
And then Herb Johnson just clips the 41.
Yeah.
Small little tap there from Wiley King. And we'll see who else ended up involved in that. In the further back area, that looks like it was Fugate that was spinning. It was right in front of Duke Sorensen.
This Atlanta track, they had to work all night to clean it. It did snow here yesterday. It's still a little bit icy in some spots.
It looks like that is the case.
Yeah.
I mean, I've also run leagues where, yeah, this just happened, where, yeah, Atlanta is just so treacherous. And honestly, I think it more so, it doesn't, I would argue it does not say anything about the quality of the drivers. I think it just says to the difficulty of the track itself. You know what? I think while we're at it, we'll also get a replay of the unfortunate spin of the 69 truck. Mike Erickson.
He spun around about, I don't know, 9 times. He's probably pretty dizzy after that one.
Yep. So, yeah, but same thing off turn 2, and then hit on the front end, and that will just send you spinning for days and days and days.
And this is stock Atlanta as well. So the games, the tracks that originally launched with the game in 2003, some of them really only had like one line. So things have been tweaked over the years. But setups, you know, these guys are using the fast setup.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the original setup that came with the game when it came out for this track. So, yeah, that pretty much shows, I think it's kind of like that offset of, they're going to be loose at the beginning, but then they're just going to be pushing by the end of the run. So you got to find that middle ground.
Yeah, I've gone online and I've actually downloaded some setups and read the notes, because you can put notes into a setup in the garage. You can read them. And to see like how these guys design some of these things, you know, super loose at the start, on rails at the end of a run. Like, and they're not lying. You get out there and it's tough to hold on to them sometimes. But if you can put 10 laps under it, then you just drive them like a freight train, you know, and they're on the rails. Like they tighten right up and they're perfect. But you got to get into a long run with them. And it's because this thing is a simulation. If you like a super loose setup that tightens up, you know, I find myself, especially on tracks like Atlanta and Texas, and I find myself doing a lot of trail braking. Like, you don't really want to lift the gas. You know what I mean? Like, instead of going into the corner and popping the throttle, maybe you keep your foot on the throttle and you just kind of drag the brake a little bit. Yeah. Because it won't upset the weight distribution on the truck. If guys are going into the corner and they're just taking their foot off the gas, you're taking the power out of the wheels. That upsets the weight balance. That's what'll send it around and make it loose. Where if you just drag the brake to slow yourself down a little bit, your suspension stays loaded.
And then you're able to,
you're able to control it
stable like that.
Yeah,
as long as you get that right balance.
There's something about this thing, like when you're driving it, to me anyway, because I've been playing this game since it came out in 2003. It's like I can just feel it in my butt. I don't know how to explain it. I can feel it in my body, combined with the sound effects in my headphones, the visuals of what I'm looking at, and I can kind of sense that it's going to get loose, and you can sort of put a little brake on that gas. It's hard to explain, but like if you take your foot off the gas completely, it does upset the truck a lot, the car, whatever you're driving, your vehicle.
Mm-hmm. I've
So
spoken
I
like a
found
true driver.
myself, yeah, I found myself even on super speedways, not, like on Talladega, you can kind of burp the throttle a bit to sort of adjust
Mm-hmm.
yourself, but you can also drag the brake a little bit too.
Yeah, that's you're
And
spoken
that
like a true
way,
driver right there. You
yeah,
just you get that feel. You can't explain it, but you just
yeah,
get that feel and you know what's up. But if a driver like Josh Boyer even just got caught out by it, anyone could get caught out by it.
that's the thing. And that's the thing with this setup, like they said, it's a little bit loose, but then it tightens up and then it starts pushing like crazy. So you really do have to stay on top of it, because you can get comfortable in your line, and if you look in the rearview mirror at the wrong time and you see somebody coming in those mirrors, you're going, then your concentration breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you enter that corner 30 feet too early. The whole thing's different now.
Is that a little bit wrong? Yeah. As we got through turns 1 and 2, okay. We're going through 3 and 4 now. So far, so good. A little high on the track. There goes DJ in the 77, but they keep it straight. That is a green flag lap completed there, and Steve Grant right on the tail of Ryan Johnson. First real competition that Ryan has had so far, and that rust bucket is making him earn it right now.
The old rusty Chevys with the old wooden floorboards.
Yeah, there probably is wood on that thing. Hey, I guess that'd be lighter, wouldn't it? Because I'm sure these things are probably mostly like steel.
I wonder, yeah, like aluminum or something. Who knows?
Yeah,
Back then it would have been
classic,
just solid iron. Yeah,
yeah, some classic metal, fiberglass or
nothing fancy.
None of that stuff. What is that stuff?
Like carbon fiber.
Yeah, carbon fiber, and which also based on what I've been told from my dad, if carbon fiber catches fire, it stinks very bad.
It's like melts. It's weird.
Yeah. And he said that because he was at an NHRA event where a funny car blew up, and they got the body back to the pits, and the body just absolutely reeked.
Yeah, and those funny cars are top fuel, so they're running an octane so high. You can imagine how hot that fire gets.
That ain't no octane. That's full on nitromethane.
full nitrous, yeah, because they run like. I remember seeing some of those races when I was a kid. I basically grew up on a drag strip. And these top fuel nitro burning funny cars are sanity, man.
Sorry to cut you off there. No, yeah, Jeff Stakanis and Steve Grant nearly got into it there, but they keep it straight. Steve is really hounding Ryan here for this race lead, but he's just playing it safe right now. He's playing it conservative. He hasn't made any big moves. If anything, it's Stakanis that's been trying, but not quite able to get it done. That's another thing. This track will become multi-groove if these guys start going side by side. Because on the inside, of course, shorter way around, but the momentum definitely comes to the outside. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some double wide racing. We got some back here, about 12th, 13th, 14th. Wiley King is in there. Heath is in there. Fugate's in there.
Yeah, and earlier
DJ's
too,
just
we
ahead
saw
of it.
a little bit of 3-wide racing, for a little while. It's definitely wide enough to pull it off.
Absolutely, yeah. This track is pretty wide, and we got 40 laps now on the counter. So, yeah, we're starting to chug through them here a little bit. Of course, with them pitting when they did, as Steve Grant goes up the track a little bit. We'll see if that opens the door for the 31. It looks like it will. Battle is on now for second. Herman Reese ready to pounce on that as well if the opportunity opens up for that 73 Rolex black and white truck.
These tri-ovals, man, like that's the thing about the tri-oval. The track's wide enough to go 2 and 3 wide here, but it just seems to get so narrow in the tri-oval, and it doesn't. Oh, yeah. Like it physically doesn't get any narrower, but it definitely feels like it because you got to make a little bit of a hook to the left.
Snapping nearly just had a bit of a moment there. But no, yeah, I'm with you. At a track like this with the quad oval, and I feel like
this is like a quad oval because it flattens out.
Yeah, and you've got a little bit of a double left-hander here. That's the second one that they're going through right now.
Is Lowe's the same way? I think Lowe's, the Charlotte track
Charlotte
is the same way.
Charlotte's the same way. Texas is that way. And in my personal experience in racing, I feel like it really feels like things bunch up at
Mhm.
the exit of that second little dog leg and going into
Yeah,
turn one. That's where it really feels like things get really scrunched, especially if you're side by
claustrophobic.
side. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Ooh, Duke Sorensen has had an issue, whereas he is kind of running toward the back, or that might just be from damage now that I'm thinking about it. Josh Boyer's still well back. Keith McLean's been struggling to make up ground, though is running 14th. Second back up here. Steve Grant has fallen to 4th, with Jeff Stakanis now looking for 2 out of 2 here on the season. If he's able to win this thing, he would sweep the first 2 races.
coming
Basically,
up on
about
some.
not quite halfway yet, about 5 laps away from that point.
Yeah, they're coming up on the 59 here. Sorensen lap truck. See which way he decides to go. Let these guys. Oh, he just pulls right off to the left.
Way down to the apron there. Smart
Yeah.
play. Good play
Yeah.
there. Checking kind of in on all these other drivers here. Rich Nappig in the top 5, along with DJ Hinsky up in P6. A great running spot there for
He's
the
out there
driver of the
running,
14.
just clocking some laps and getting out of the way. The 59, good move. Looks like he's pitting.
Now
Yeah,
Nappig
59 headed to the pit.
looking for 4th place is the 6. Steve Grant starting to struggle here a little bit. Wonder if he was maybe cooking his tires a little bit there from running as close as he was to the 78. We'll see if that will open the door then for Hinsky. And Kodian is now up into 7th place. The rest of the top 10 right now is Mark Jacenza with a great recovery after spinning around earlier on, running 8th. And Ricky Bumbaloo in 9th. Ron Simpson now rounds out the top 10 in number 25.
And you wonder about the cars. Sorry, I say cars. You wonder about the trucks in the back. If they're just conserving, because you can roast your tires off. Your style of driving, you could roast any one of the 4 off. I've had issues with left front before just because how I enter exit corners. It really is, in the long run, you're fighting your tires here, like you said at the start of the race. We're going to be fighting tires more than we're fighting fuel mileage.
Yeah. And now that we're getting a run going here, I think that the tire wear is going to start to show. I mean, these guys are running about half a second slower than their personal bests, which probably would have been a little bit earlier on in the run. So the fall off is already showing, and these guys still can probably go about another 15, maybe even 20 laps on a tank of gas. So they're going to have to try to decide if they want to push it that far and kind of how the math is going to work out as Steve Grant caught on that outside, and it looks like it was not working for him. He has now fallen back to the tail of the top 10, and tail pretty much of this big line, big draft, because draft is definitely a part of this thing as well. Great time for hiccups to start happening. I'm going to hold my breath for a moment while I let Blaine talk for a moment.
Yeah, I was just watching kind of back in the pack here, the 13th position here, Wiley King in the 95. We just kind of, I'm just watching this race here. We got the 9 of Fugate, Keith McLean back there, Wiley King, DJ, and Irv Johnston as well. Andrew focuses on the front of the pack where I kind of sit in the back and watch. And they're just kind of punting along. They're staying in line, hitting their marks. No real hard racing this time. Last time they were all over each other, but I think they sort of said, you know what? Let's just get around this track. Hit your marks,
agree.
And there's no sense to be racing too hard. And I mean, accidents happen. Obviously, cars get loose, go around. But now that we're halfway through this thing, the guys are definitely getting the hang of this thing.
Yeah. Now these things
you can only do so much in practice because sometimes you're out there by yourself and only 4 people are going to practice at once or whatever. But the race is a completely different monster because you're getting some sweeping on somebody up here too. Who's that? Bumbaloo looks to me anyway like he's having some connection problems.
Yeah,
in a race situation, when you've got all 27 trucks on the track, it's a different style of racing. There's more air going on out there. There's obviously more obstacles.
Yeah,
absolutely. After 50 laps, they got it figured out. And I was going to say, good call too. You were looking at the best lap compared to the fast lap, or the best lap compared to the last lap. That's a good observation of like, yeah, everybody's running about a second slower, half a second to a second slower than their best.
Yeah, now
As
we're
we
down
get
by
into
almost a
it,
full second.
yeah, I'm looking at that now. As
DJ
I think they're
Hinsky.
nursing those tires.
And DJ Hinsky has now gotten 4th place from Rich Napick. We saw that just a lap or two ago.
Yep.
Harry Codion, yeah. Now I think the guys that are doing the best on their tires are really starting to show here. Because you got some guys that were up here running pretty well are now really dropping back. I'm mainly looking at Steve Grant and oh boy, whatever happened to Bumbalo? He's gone all of a sudden. Oh, there he is, I think. No, I don't know where he went. Oh, there. Oh, he's pitting.
85.
Okay,
He's on the pit lane. Yeah,
and I
he
think
is
he just quit.
gone. He did.
I wonder if that may have been also a component of some of the issues that you were just talking about. Wiley King and Herb Johnston now side by side. That's for 12th. Give that spot to the 49. And Keith McLean starting to methodically work his way forward. Now back up into the top 10. I would expect him to still be pretty competitive. Battle for 6th there. Harry Codiane and Mark Picenza, they are going to hold position. And it is Ryan Johnson and Jeff Stakanis up front, and they are pretty much in a league of their own as it stands. Herman Reese starting to slip just a little bit out of reach of them. And yeah, we are down by a full second a lap compared to what they were running. So now this is going to be a spot where strategy is going to play into this. When do you pit? Do you opt for the undercut, which you're going to gain a ton of time, but then you may end up giving that up based on the tire difference in the long run? All in all, it's, oh boy, that was a marginal pit entry there for the 69 as he was coming in.
Marginal.
Marginal.
Yeah. Yes, Mark Descenza, the 33, does have fastest lap so far on the night. 30.383 seconds with a 182.4 average mile per hour. Doesn't tell me what lap, it just tells me that Mark Descenza holds that. As of right now, anyway, that can change. Fastest lap of the night.
He holds that honor as it stands, running P6, doing a great job. Also moving forward, Ron Simpson. That will be P7 now for that number 25. He's methodically working his way forward. Looks like he's got things pretty well figured out with those tires. He got past the 13. Steve Grant now under threat from Keith McLean. That will be for 9th. And top 2 continuing to pull away. And they are maintaining a much more consistent pace than anyone else behind them. I'm sure the fact that they're drafting with each other is helping. But tires, though, I think, are really playing a big factor into this. We are coming to 40 laps to go this time by, so this is absolutely going to be, well, yeah, I'm thinking about it right now, and I am debating on if it's going to be a one-stopper here. I think it possibly could, but you're really going to have to run these tires out. Fuel-wise, it'll be probably more doable because now you're saving so much fuel just with how much you have to lift just to save these tires and keep them under you.
Yeah, the 69 is 2 laps down. He just came out of the pits. Looks like he's pitting again.
Yeah, I think that may have been for an unsafe entry. Chris Landry's coming in now, and Ron Simpson is opting for the short pitch. So I think I may have been wrong. I think we will be 2 stopping it here. Unless Ron Simpson's just saying, you know what, I'm going to opt for the undercut and hope for a yellow. Which could be possible.
Yeah, that's a possibility too. Yeah, that helps save tires for sure.
Mark Descenza is in, as is Ryan Johnson. So with 40 laps to go, it is indeed a 2-stopper from here. And this is the first of those 2 stops. And then from here, you'll be able to, the floodgates really open up as far as what strategy you want to go with. You want to split the difference? You want to pit early? You want to pit late? I think if this thing goes green, this is going to be pretty interesting as far as who is going to pit when. Checking back up front here. Jeff Stakanis now coming in from the lead. That will briefly inherit the lead now to Herman Reese in the 73. As DJ Hinsky has actually really caught him and is going to pass him pretty easily here as Reese goes way up the track there. That truck got pretty tight. And also right up there is Rich Napick. So these guys still looking decent, at least on the long run. It's just a matter of now when they pit.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson in 78 back on the track now after pitting, dominating this race, the 57 laps led. Putting on a clinic, as they say.
Let's put on a clinic, and there he is. So now
14th
he'll be
currently,
running
but
these
that
guys
doesn't
down.
matter. Yeah. Well, at the line here, his position will reset. It's saying the 14th, but that was because he was going down the pit lane. So, and it remains in 14th. So
And
once
he'll be
we're
a
done
lap
this
down
pit
now.
cycle, yeah.
Jeff Stacanis coming out as well, so we'll see where these two are going to emerge together. And actually, it looks like the 31 is going to have quite the advantage.
Green flag pit stops are always so cool because it's any little mistake is just amplified under green flag conditions because, you know, everybody on the track is still going at top speed. It's not like a yellow flag where you're just going to catch back up to the end of the line again. You really got to be good on that pit entry and exit to not get black flagged, penalized.
And Johnson just got by, or Johnson rather, just got by Stacanis, so that will eventually be for the race lead. Let's see, we got Steve Grant coming down this time. Fugate's coming in. Oh, Fugate's going to spin it. DJ looks like did not make the line there. He was in the grass in the 14. But that's a big pack there, and they were pitting with 36 to go, I believe.
Boyer just made it. Boyer in the 41 just made an awesome pit entry there. He was full speed right out of turn 4, and then hooked her down there and threw the anchor out and got that thing down to 40 before he hit the cone. It was perfect.
Pit road's being 45. That is
yep.
He was coming
tough
full
speed
pit road to
out
get
of there.
onto.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. When you get down off that transition, you can't be braking when you're doing that because it'll send you around. You got to get down on the flat, get that thing planted, and then just slam the brakes on. That's exactly what he did. He made it work. I didn't know if he was going to be able to hold on to it, but it's not his first day. He made it work.
Hey, it's Josh Boyer. I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised to see that the 78 and the 31 have found each other pretty much exactly where they were, despite the different laps that they pitted. Still scored second that time. Was the 78. Don't know who will be shown as the leader here. There's a little gaggle there with Herman Reese and Ron Simpson getting things sorted there. Keith McLean coming off pit road there. You just saw him. I do believe that the 14 probably had a 30-second penalty.
Looking for a leader. I'm not seeing a position 1 on anybody.
Well, it is now just officially gone to the 78. Everything has now cycled through.
I was looking for position 1 and I wasn't seeing it, but
I just did the same thing and was not seeing anything. So it has come down to the 78 and the 31. They're going to almost certainly have to pit again. So 71, or yes, 71. 31 and 78. Well and truly clear of third place Mark DeSenza after he had short pitted a little bit more compared to everyone else. And he's running in P3 right now. And
yeah, if I remember correctly, before we were pitting, there was about a 2-second gap, which Jeff and Ryan, it was Ryan and Jeff respectively, first and second, with about a 2-second gap to third. Now it's about a 5 or 6 second gap. So even after all that, mostly all back in their same spots, but those two guys are just driving away from everybody. Not really driving away from everybody, just being very consistent.
They've got it figured out, and right now running upper 30-second lap times here. Of course, they're drafting off each other, which will definitely help as we're checking through here. Yep, there's DeSenza in third. It was Harry Codiane has now gotten well and truly on his own now in 4th place. That's a great run for that 13. Herman Reese now P5, just ahead of Ron Simpson in P6. DJ a lap down. Rich Napick in P7. Unfortunate penalty for Hinsky. He's going to have him a lap down, so that will put Steve Grant now up in 8th. 9th is Keith. Great to see him recovering a little bit forward here. Wiley King has now found himself in the top 10 here in the 95. Good recovery there. Oh my goodness, 3 wide.
Yeah, why not, right?
Why not? They were getting by the 69, and you got some other lap traffic in there. And you got some lap traffic mixing it up, but still just as fast as these guys from 5th, 6th, and 7th. And now the 77, maybe looking to try to get by the 73. Unlap himself in relation. And that is going to open the door now for Napik to possibly make that move after he just got by the 25.
Does Hobo do the lucky dog thing? We've got, reason I asked, we got 5 trucks running that are a lap down. Randy Smith, Mike Erickson, DJ Hinsky, DJ, and Rob Heath.
I do believe that they do indeed do the free pass.
Ah, okay.
I'm pretty sure that there is no limit on when that can be done. 71 laps complete now, 72 out of 98. After some chaos in the first half, it's as these races usually go. It's chaos for a little while, and then things settle down, and it has settled down for these top 2. I'm gonna stick to a kind of a neat shot here, looking up the back straightaway. I love these flyby cameras because then you just really get to like see everyone going by. And there will be times that I'll just pull up like a race replay and just go to one of these cameras and just kind of just sit on it with the field spread out, and then I can just be like, oh, there goes that guy. Oh, there goes that guy.
Yeah. Just do Control N.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just did.
Yeah, drop the camera.
This is like the closest thing I have to free cam.
Right. Or if you get like spectator cam and it swings around on a certain spot, you can do the Control N on that one too and drop the car and just kind of lock the spectator cam somewhere so you can see the wide, corner entry, corner exit. Works good on like tracks like Pocono and stuff that are like super wide.
There's some versions of Las Vegas that have like pit road 1 is like right up against the wall at turn 1, and that is a great flyby shot. Caution is out. And it appears to be for the 77. Turn 4 is in trouble. This just changed everything, Blaine.
Yep.
Oh
like
my!
All by himself.
Another one bit by the.
Yep. Got loose.
Bit by the lack of grip. Right in front of Herman Reese. Oh, great job, everybody. Ooh, that was sketchy.
Nobody hit him, but he's got massive damage to the rear of that truck.
Yeah, that's yeah, he had good speed, but was running a lap down, running in 16th at the time. We're getting on board with DJ Hinsky in the 14.
That'll be fun, though.
Trying to get more onboards here. I almost never did these for the longest time, and boy, is that... Oh, Herman, hold on. Boy, he nearly lost it. Was able to save it. Well, here we go.
I'm thinking, almost everybody's going to pit. Some guys are staying out.
Yeah,
of course, they are a lap down. They can't pit.
Yeah, can't pit this time.
You can do whatever you want, but you're going to have to go to the end of the longest line and serve that penalty.
I was going to say, you're going to be in some trouble there.
Yeah.
How interesting is it to see an NVIDIA sponsor on a 1965 truck?
Yeah, that's a word that did not exist.
No. No, it did not. So this will be the money stop. This should get these guys to the end. And ooh, Harry Codane coming out very quickly. I wonder if that was a 2-tire stop there for the 13.
I'm going to go back and confirm that one. It had to be.
Yeah, that has to be with how far ahead he got.
Right sides only on the 13.
And he's dropping back. All that, and he probably sped.
I'm not showing a black flag.
That is interesting, then. I wonder... I wonder what the call is there.
I don't know. Because the stats are not showing black flag on the 13. He's good.
Well, if there's
Unless
one
it just
big
hasn't
thing,
reset yet.
yeah, I'm not sure, but if there's one thing, big thing that's come out of this, it is that Jeff Stakanis just jumped Ryan Johnson on pit road here for this race lead. We got a new player up here for the lead. And how about the 33 of Mark DeSenza? He's going to be third here after spinning out earlier on in this race after contact. And now he's going to be in it with a shot. Fourth place is going to be Rich Napick. Ron Simpson will round out the top 5. Don't count out Steve Grant quite yet. They're in P6, that rust bucket.
Yeah, 13 back on pit road again.
I wonder if maybe that was like he meant to take 4, but was maybe out of position. Like they said, like, oh, you were too far to the right or something.
Yeah, you're too close to the wall. We can't change your left side tires. No, he went in. He went in. He's getting all 4 now. He just got all 4 tires now.
I'm gonna ring up Keith McLean here one more time, just before we get this thing back going. Keith, just checking in with you here. It looks like we're gonna be close to 20 laps to go. I gotta imagine this will be the run to the finish for you guys.
Well, let's hope so. We just had Herman just got a little damage. I'm tore up, but at least we can go to the end here on fuel. So it would be nice to make it to the end with no more wrecks.
Only time will tell. It's about to heat up there. You're gonna be restarting 7th here. Best of luck.
Thanks, sir.
Awesome having it. In-race reporter. I don't think we've ever really done that.
Yeah, it is cool to have a guy on Whisper on the track. A couple of cars here going around. Yeah, they just got the wave around. They were trapped between the pace car and the leader.
So that's what it looks like to not have a rear bumper. Oh my gosh, the spoiler's gone too on the 77. Oh no. Oh, that looks so weird. Like everything on the rear is gone on that thing. There's no spoilers, nothing.
That's cool. That might be an advantage.
I was just saying, yeah, no drag. He's gonna be flying.
I mean, no downforce on the rear wheels either. Maybe he won't be flying because it'll be the back tires will be floating off the ground.
So he will be flying, just in a different way.
I guess in a different way, yeah. the vertical way.
Air Jasper, the sponsor of that truck. So 20 laps officially here will be when we get the green flag, and yeah, are we going to be able to make it here, or are these cold tires going to bite these guys once again? And hey, the intensity is going to pick up now. Now that we're getting down to the end of this thing, Jeff Stakanis out in front. Ryan Johnson's been dominating, but now he's restarting in 2nd place. Can he hold it with the 31? We're going to find out here.
A great finish. I mean, we had a couple of long green flag runs there and had some green flag pit stops.
That we did.
Now, we'll see what happens.
Taking on through the field here. A little jolt there from Herman, who probably, I think when Keith said he had damage, that was probably a result of a little slide that he had, probably got into the wall.
Whoa. Yeah, I'm looking at Keith right now. It looked like he got a little bit loose right there, too.
Ooh, Keith a little pushing up the racetrack there. These guys are racing hard there, and I know those two have raced each other for many, many, many years. I give 8th place now to Herman Reese. He's on the move forward. Battle now for 4th place. Ron Simpson. Ooh, underneath. Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
We totally missed Mark DeSenza taking 2nd place and going for this race lead.
Yep.
The Skull Bandit.
Race up front, they are door to door. They say trading paint, right?
They trade in paint indeed. But Ryan Johnson now wants it back. Ron Simpson for 3rd. And how about this one for the 78? Definitely, or almost certainly going to get the most laps led out of this race. But he is under the most threat that he has been all night long. And that 33 hounding him on the outside. 31 was hounding him throughout most of the race as well. But now he is clear out here in front once again. So give that to Ryan Johnson, but Jacenza's still right on his tail, and Ron Simpson moving forward in that 25, and Steve Grant as well, now up into the top 5.
78 of Ryan Johnson has led 69 laps tonight. Definitely does get the bonus points for leading the lap and leading the most. Bunch
big
of
points.
all the points available. Yep.
Big points. And yeah, he'll
half
be
the race.
Looking pretty sporty if he's able to convert this to a race win.
Almost 3/4 of this race have been led by this one guy, Ryan Johnson, in the 78.
And you can make the argument, sure, that a lot of that was under caution, but at the same time, I mean, hey, him, just like everyone else, he had to hold on to that truck, and he's kept it clean and looking pretty sporty throughout the entire race, which everyone else has been kind of slipping and sliding around quite a bit.
Yeah, and talking about the under green conditions, pitting, getting in there, not making mistakes and getting out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Any little mistake when you're going down there under green is just crazy amount of track position can be lost. So
yeah, it can make or break the race.
Yep. He's been hitting home runs in all aspects of this thing.
So far, so good here in this beautiful 65 truck mod. Mark Desenza, though, still right there with him. Simpson third. Stakanis and then Grant are your top 5. Rich Napick, P6. Herman Reese up to 7th. He's very, very quickly yet methodically working his way forward. Wiley King shown in 8th, followed by the 49. What a recovery there for Herb Johnson. He's up to 9th, ahead of top 10 runner now, Fugate in the 9. And then, yeah, we got 2 fast guys there that things aren't quite going to end up working out for them tonight. That is the 28 and the 41. Checking back up front here. Second place.
Side by side.
There we go. That's Ron Simpson.
Yeah, the mod is beautiful. Like Denny Ryu and all his crew over there at DMR, like the work that those guys do is phenomenal. These trucks look absolutely amazing.
This is so cool to be able to bring you guys this series. These guys ran NCTS 09 for a long time, and they made the switch over to this mod. And golly, is it something to behold? And seeing these things on a relatively modern track as well, it's pretty cool. But hey, you only get that in NR2003. That's the luxury of it. Ooh, here we go for second place. Stakanis trying to take that spot back from where he had it earlier. Ooh, but he's on the inside lane. Ron's probably going to come for the 25, though.
Yeah, Ron Simpson, he's been running like top 10 for majority of this thing, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's kind of sitting there watching, Now he's up there.
Been pretty darn good and sporty. But slip back just a little bit there. The outside lane not quite favoring him.
No,
so he will slip back to third.
Spots.
Yeah, he's going to get the runoff that time, though, so he'll hold on to third. Stakanis now has his eyes set on that 78. Very, very close there for fourth place between Desenza and Grant. And, of course, being for fourth.
Simpson likes to look in his mirror and see that. A couple of guys side by side racing for it. Give him a little bit of space.
Solely focus on the 31 in front of him. And, man, let me tell you, that is huge. As we got 10 laps to go here, that is so huge when you're able to just pay attention to what's in front of you. If you got to worry about both ends, oh man, that is very, very difficult to be able to maintain fighting while defending. So,
yeah, the 11 did get around Desenza in the 33. So Steve Grant now running in fourth.
Herman Reese going to get 6th from Napick, who I think just had a bad corner there. He's going to also lose 7th to Wiley King. Great recovery also from the 95. So 9 laps to go. Stakanis got to be thinking, all right, what do I got to do? Do I just try to keep these tires under me for a little while longer, or should I go ahead and try to close in on him? And Ryan Johnson's probably got to be thinking the same thing. And also thinking about the draft as well, because this is CTS physics. These things are going to get some big, big runs here on these straightaways.
These top 8. Let's see, we got 8 guys right up front here. I mean, it's anybody's race, really. We got, what, 7 laps left?
8 laps, I actually do believe. As, yep, Wiley King, and yep, there's Napic.
Yeah, Napic, King, Reese, Senza.
They're really going at it.
Grant.
At the tail end of the top 10 here. Kodian is now ahead of Keith McLean. Josh Boyer into the wall. That keeps it straight. Fugate starting to struggle. And yeah, they're all,
keep in mind too. Yeah, we're getting near the
right
end of that run. Like we're 20 laps into after that pit stop cycle. So we're thinking,
these things
how
are
these
start,
tires doing?
These things are going to start driving fairly poorly at this point in the run. No matter how well you save them, these things, we were talking with Keith, he was saying, once you get like more than 10, 15 laps on these things, they just turn into dump trucks, and they do not want to turn. We've already lost half a second on the lap time for these guys, but it is now 6 laps to go. Stakanis did close a little bit, but now it looks like gap has fairly well stabilized, about truck length between them. Ron Simpson's starting to slip back here, and then Steve Grant and Mark DeSenza. Right now, the closest battle here is between Wiley King and Herman Reese. That is for 6th. Again, great recovery run there for Wiley. It's 5 laps to go now, officially.
How amplified is the draft on a track like this with the CTS physics? It's still there, but not as prominent as the Cup, I would imagine.
It's way more pronounced with CTS because of the amount of drag that these things produce. However, as the run goes on, it will probably play less and less of a factor because of... are you serious?
Yep.
Oh, that's 49. This might be the race. Yeah, we just took 4 to go. That might be it. 49.
Yeah, we do have a couple of trucks lapped down, so that might be it.
I think it probably will be. We will find out for sure, of course, just based on what the game calls here. In the meantime, though, we'll go ahead and see what has resulted in the yellow. And yep, it was Irv Johnson.
An hour 13 and 10 seconds as we were flying that. I'm just on helicopter view right now. He got loose in that corner, and he corrected it. And I think he got a little tiny tap from the 76, and that just obviously nothing malicious there. It's just they tried to protect each other, and we know with those rear wheels breaking loose like that, it doesn't take much. Just that little tiny tap sends them around.
We'll go on board with Chris Landry here. It is so close to tell if there was any contact there or not. If there was, it was very slight, but I think there may have been.
It's minuscule. I think there was. I'll get down there with the free cam and take a look at it.
I know, obviously, of course, those guys were just racing. Yeah. It looked like the 49 may have struggled there with getting tight. Yep, lap 96 of 98. I do believe that will be it, and it will be the guy who dominated this race, Ryan Johnson, taking home the W in a well-deserved fashion based on what he was able to do in this race. Bummer that it couldn't come down to a green flag run there with him and Stakanis, because it definitely looked like 31 would have been the one guy that could have had something for him there at the end.
Yeah, there was such a minuscule amount of contact on that. Minuscule. Who uses that word? I do.
I do.
But it's crazy how little contact sent that truck around. But like I said, it was already kind of breaking loose, saving it, and then just a little tiny tap, and unfortunately sent them around. And in that, of course, in that location on the track too, you're gonna be in the way, so yellow comes out.
The lights are going to have to go out here if we're going to get a one-lapper. They do not. So all these guys got to do is just hope they don't blow up under caution, which I have seen weirder things. So it's not over till it's over, but it's looking good for...
I've done that before on TarnationTV. I'll be running a broadcast and be like, and your winner is, because it's yellow flag conditions, and then something crazy happens. The guy spins out. Like the whole field can't wait. And we thought he won, but he didn't because he didn't actually take the checker.
Yeah.
You got to get the checker.
You pulled a Mark Martin.
You're locally sitting behind your steering wheel at your desk. If you have a power outage and your internet goes out, well, that's considered a mechanical failure. So
That's
you're
it.
Done.
However, the game is also very temperamental. Because this was in a BSR race that I had run, and it was just like a fun little super speedway race that we were doing. It wasn't for points, but BSR Magoo was about to win it, and we were under caution, and I was in second. And just to be funny, I just as we were coming to checkered, I gassed it to try to just make it as close to like a photo finish as I could. Try to be like, all right, yeah, how close can we get this?
Right.
And I gassed it too much, and I passed him. But the game didn't disqualify me or give me a penalty. It gave me the win.
Oh. But the league wouldn't give you the win.
Oh, no. Yeah, they corrected the result.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh
funny.
God, yeah, please fix that.
Because
I didn't want to win it that way.
What you're thinking is like, okay, because they always take a screenshot of the finish and put it on the website.
Oh yeah.
And then like we're gonna make this look like it was some crazy finish, even though it's under yellow. That you can't tell from the picture. It's a still photo.
Yeah.
Like, man, look at how close that was. It's like,
I was like a nose ahead of them.
Yeah.
And that was my bad.
You wrecked the picture because now they can't put the picture up because it looks like you're in front of them.
Yeah, exactly. But yet the game said, nope, you're good. You win. Even though you did it illegally.
Even the final export had you in first?
It did.
Weird.
Oh, they had to fix that. And I guess you call it, they fix it in post.
It's and your winner is not this guy.
Not Andrew Miller.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was too good. Well, we are coming to the checkered flag here officially, and the 78 pole sitter gonna emerge victorious here. Bit of a chaotic race, but yeah, we had some great runs in there as well.
The last 3 quarters of this thing was fantastic.
Yeah, they had it going on for sure. And into the bright sun there on the front straightaway and the checkered flag. It is official for Ryan Johnson, the winner here at Atlanta, the second race of the season. Jeff Stakanis will finish in second place. That is an average finish of 1.5 in the first 2 races for the number 31. And it was followed by Ron Simpson, Steve Grant, and Mark DeSenza, if I'm not mistaken. You guys reckon it up there a little bit?
It was Johnson, Stakanis, Simpson, Steve Grant, Mark DeSenza, top 5.
Top 5, perfect. We'll see if we'll be able to get a word with our top 3 then. We'll keep it here though on Ryan. We'll see if he wants to burn it down here on this old antique machine. I believe that's a GMC, and indeed it is. And he brings her around to the front straightaway. And thank you to everyone who tuned in for this thing. We're bringing you guys cup coverage of this league from this very racetrack on Tuesday night, same time. And Zach Rogers will be in the booth with me for that one. And then we'll be back for the trucks on March 16th from Las Vegas.
Yeah, so don't forget to subscribe or prescribe or whatever you want to do. Top Dragster Network. Do it.
Prescribe the channel.
Yeah, prescribe to the channel. So next 5 minutes, prescriptions are free.
That sounds awfully nice right about now, actually. Burning it down against the wall there is the 78. As I'll burn out there. We'll check out the official results here. I'm able to click on that. There we go. So it is official for Johnson, Stakanis, Simpson, Grant, and DeSenza with the top 5 finishers. Wiley King with a great finish there in P6 with Herman Reese in 7th. A great recovery. Rich Napick, Keith McLean, and Harry Codian as well will finish in the top 10. Rounding out the lead lap finishers will be Fugate, Heath, Landry, Boyer, Hinsky, and Randy Smith and E. Johnson. E. Johnston. I keep doing that.
Yeah.
Yep, Herb
There's a T in
Johnston.
that one.
Yeah.
I'm sure I was doing it the whole race too. Johnson and Johnston,
It sounds like a heck of a lawyer company right there, Johnson and Johnston.
Johnson and Johnston, yeah.
Not to be confused with the
Hand lotion.
with the big company.
Yeah.
Let's see. Also finishing this race will be D. Johnson, and last car to finish the race is the Playboy truck itself, Mike Erickson, in 19th place, 20th to 27th, finishing or not finishing the race. But yeah, 27 drivers. That is great to see, and that was some cool stuff. And yeah, a lot of congrats there to Ryan in the chat there. Good to see Rich Napick in chat. Again, thank you to everyone who tuned in and interacted in the chat. It's always even better whenever we're able to have some back and forth with the viewers. So
a lot of interaction on YouTube tonight. That's cool.
Always good stuff. Let's see. On that note, I believe I may have just been given permission to move people. Let me go ahead and try that. And if that is indeed the case, right now in the waiting room, it looks like we've got Jeff Stacanis in the waiting room there. Let me also
see. Yeah, I can see you are a channel administrator, so you should be able to pull people up here for interview.
I like the sound of that. And yeah, it looks like it's probably all we'll have. It looks like Ron Simpson may have already left for the evening. So we'll go ahead and get Jeff in here first.
User was moved to your
channel. I do have that power. Very nice. But I believe this is Jeff Stacanis. Do you copy, my man?
Sure do.
Right on, man. That's a second place finish for you. That is now a 1.5 average finish for the season so far.
Oh, man.
Mathematics. I love mathematics.
Gotta love math. But yeah, it seemed like you and Ryan, especially over the long run, just the class of the field. And I think you guys got a lot to be proud of for that. But for that final run, though, if that had gone green, do you feel like you had much there to be able to get to and get by the 78?
Maybe when our tires got down there, but I was 4 laps short, so I knew that I was going to have to go in. So I might have been able to get them in the pits, but that was the only thing I was kind of hoping for.
Okay, so at least in that long run, that caution there actually kind of helped you out in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, because I think he was definitely a can short, and I was teetering on half a can because I pitted a lap after him.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I was surprised with just with the speed difference, with just how much the tires were wearing out. I thought that he was going to be way ahead of you, even with that 1 lap difference, and yet you guys were able to keep pretty darn close.
Yeah, right next to each other. Yep, it was a really good race. I'm extremely good here, though, so he did a bang-up job.
I would say I would definitely say that you both did bang-up jobs there. Very nicely done. Blaine, do you have any questions or anything for Jeff?
I was just going to say, first time I'm over here at Hobo Racing, and we got like almost a full grid. And you guys put on a clinic. I mean, like I said to Andrew, like the last 3/4 of that, like the first quarter of the race, you guys were still getting a feel for the setup, I guess. But then once you got into the groove, it was fantastic to watch that thing. And you could tell a lot of dedication. You guys don't tweak the setups; you just run the stock setups.
Yeah, we do. Usually, if it's like this, it's like tonight was a fast setup. Is all it was. Literally, throw it in there and go.
Yep, deal with it.
Yeah, deal with it. Everybody's got to race the same setup. So
yeah, but you guys have an open. You guys have an open day as well, eh?
Yeah, Tuesdays are our open day. Yep.
Cool.
And we'll be bringing you guys coverage of that here this coming Tuesday. And again, I just have to think of hopefully Keith's still here. I'll just have to confirm, but I do believe that the plan is that we'll be bringing you guys pretty much all the cup races through March, every Tuesday night. So looking forward to bringing you guys coverage of that, and of course being able to watch guys like Jeff, like Ryan, and all these guys getting to mix it up on Tuesday nights, and of course we'll be here for Vegas on in a few weeks' time. I'm getting all tongue tied. So I think with that, I will leave it to Jeff here. If you want to give any closing thoughts, shout outs, the floor is yours, my friend.
Oh, shout out to everybody who's watching and the whole Hobo crew, all the admins, and Steve and Bino, and my teammates who keep me going week after week. We got to do this. We win.
Hey, best of luck going forward, man, and look forward to seeing what you're able to do on Tuesday night.
Thank you, sir.
Right on, man.
Thanks, Jeff. Have a good night, dude.
Yep. Good night.
Runner up Jeff Stacanis there.
What mod do they run for the cup?
On Tuesday nights, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that they're still running the Gen 6 VR, I do believe.
Oh, cool.
So
Old faithful.
Oh yeah, that mod's been doing pretty
Running
well
that for 10 years. Yeah. I think it's been out 10 years now. 2015. Yeah.
It's reliable. It's great looking, and hey, I love it. I think we're going to get our race winner up here next.
User was moved to your channel.
And there he is, the dominator of the night, Brian Johnson. Do you copy?
Yes, got a copy.
Right on, man. Yeah, if it's most laps led, pretty much dominating that thing. Obviously, I know it. You're able to hold it pretty easily there for the first quarter of the race, all things considered. But all in all, though, I was telling Jeff, you and him were just putting on a clinic with how you guys were able to manage the tires and manage the speed, and you guys were just in another zip code. But tell me from your perspective how the track seemed to drive and how you were trying to manage that tightness, because Keith was saying that it was going to be pretty tight out there.
Yeah, I was just trying to back up the turns and stick it low towards the center of the turn, and then let it push off the exit. I was kind of getting close to the wall of 2 and 4, but just was able to run a pretty clean line and had the track position all night. That I think that was key here tonight with how the race setup was and everything.
Yeah, that definitely, and that makes sense. But yeah, still though, that's you gotta be feeling pretty good about that win, especially on that final 20 lap run. Even though it ended up not finishing under green. It seemed like Jeff was probably the one guy that could have possibly kind of spoiled that for you. But all in all, though, it seemed like you were able to hold him off pretty well. You're feeling pretty good of kind of maintaining that gap there for those final few laps.
Yeah, I was kind of actually concerned because under that last green stop, overshot my pit stall, had to back it up, and Jeff was able to get by. So I didn't know how that was going to play out, but I was able to get back by him, and then I knew he was going to be right there towards the end. It was just a matter of trying to hold him off. Jeff's tough. He's class act, 100% hard charger. So didn't know if he was going to be able to make a move. I was actually happy to see the caution, and we weren't going to go green. So,
Yeah, hey, I feel you. If I'm leading and I'm like, I hope we can hold on to this, that caution comes out, it's like, all right, perfect, we got it.
yes,
So,
absolutely.
I feel you, man. I feel you. Blaine, anything for Ryan here?
I'm always curious when watching something like this, and most of the cautions, you could see guys just kind of spinning out by themselves, getting loose in the corners and stuff. We were talking about how you can, lift your foot off the gas, or you can kind of drag your brakes to sort of stick, to keep that suspension loaded to prevent from upsetting the truck from just taking the gas away from it. Like, how do you go through those turns? Do you drag the brake a little bit?
I was just kind of lifting, kind of at the entry, and then just stomping it back down, and it would, grab and go. Now I could see if you're in. I really wasn't in traffic tonight much, so I could see the setup. It probably, if you had to let up unexpectedly, probably want to get loose and turn around. I know the first couple laps it was kind of tricky, but I was just, like I said earlier, just trying to get it through the turns, cut her low, and let her dig off, and try and keep it off the wall on the exit.
That was definitely working, that's for sure.
Yeah, you had it made. So that thing looked like it was pretty well on rails throughout the race, and hey, you You made it look easy when I know for a fact, as a driver myself, that is not easy whatsoever. So very,
No,
very
no,
nicely
not
done.
especially with the competition here at Hobo. You know, these guys are pretty tough. So to get a win against these guys always satisfying.
I was going to say too, yeah, it takes a lot of concentration when you got that much going on around you.
Yeah, and
To
there was a
just
couple
hit
points
those
during the
marks.
race. Yeah, I had Steve Grant on my bumper. I think the 41 Josh Boyer would have been a major player if he didn't get caught up in the trouble that he got caught up in. He was going to be a contender as well. So things kind of went my way, and it ended up being a pretty good race for me. So
All worked out, man, and very, very nicely done. Of course, as we always do, for whoever we're able to talk to, the floor is yours for closing thoughts, shout outs, anything of the sort.
just a shout out to Hobo Racing for putting on a great league to race at. You all for showing up at this new broadcast. Hadn't heard of you guys before, so look forward to going back and rewatching it. And thank you for what you're doing for the NR2003 community. So appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys for just letting me do it. I'm still new to this thing, so yeah, I just appreciate you guys accepting me on board for this, and it means a lot. So
Yeah, shout out
uh,
to Keith McLean as well for getting it all set up. So
yeah, it was
thank you, Keith.
that was big there, and also Julian Wilson even was able to kind of lead me in this direction too, and got me in contact with Keith. So yeah, a lot of folks that went into making this happen. But great win, and looking forward to seeing. Hopefully, we'll see you on Tuesday night and going forward here. Good, best of luck.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Have a good night.
Blaine, I'll go ahead and
User left
get
your
your
channel.
closing thoughts on what we saw tonight. A little chaos, but also a lot of lot of long green flag runs there that really tested these guys.
Yeah, I mean, first time at Hobo, and I knew it wasn't going to disappoint because you guys have been around a long time. I've seen broadcasts. I've watched broadcasts from this league before, and I like to see a long race. With a 98 laps on the clock, you're thinking, okay, it's starting out a little bit rocky, but we're going to figure this out. And they didn't disappoint, man. Once they got through those first 20 laps, the rest of it was better than most real life racing you're going to see. These guys are dedicated to this thing, and they put on a fantastic show.
Yeah, I would agree to that, and I'm really, really excited to see what the open setup side of things is going to look like on Tuesday night.
Oh man, you guys have your work cut out there, dude. Because now you're talking about, okay, what are you going to do for pit stops? Are you going to get 2 tires, or are you going to get 4? Well, now it's like you're going to put on some tape. You're going to take some off. What about your track bar? What are you going to do with your with wedge? You're going to add some wedge. Like you're going to have to think of all that stuff.
Tire
Man,
pressures.
that's what I'm saying. You need 7 more pounds of pressure in the left front or something. Like it's just there's so many things with an open setup that you can actually change from the pit box. Not to mention in the garage, camber, toe, suspension density, like all that stuff. I think I'm even making up words, but it probably, but you can do this. You can tweak the spring tensions and, in the garage. So it's like, what are you doing in the garage? What are you bringing to the track? And then what are you changing live in the race? Because that opens up your pit stops to just be like, okay, there's 8 laps to go and we got 1 pit stop left. Guys are stuffing grill tape on like crazy to get more downforce. Or they're going to blow up because now they're going to suffocate the engine. You got to know all these points. There's so many variables in an open setup race. You guys are going to have a lot of fun trying to call that one.
I'm excited for it. It's going to be an even longer race. I wanted to say it's like over 110 laps.
Cool.
And yeah, the handling is going to be huge. So we'll see
What track?
Same track that we had tonight.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So it might be the same issue then. You're going to have the first 20 or so laps. Maybe they're getting the hang of it, but then once they get locked in, it's going to be neat. And then even with damage being realistic, with an open setup, okay, maybe you take a hit. You can fix how, if you don't like the way the car's driving with realistic damage after taking a hit, you can modify your setup to sort of adapt to that.
Mm-hmm.
If you really know how to make it work, you can maybe you crank that wedge like crazy because you knock the car left or right on the back or the front, or there's ways to adapt to damage with that open setup too, which is very cool.
you can really make it work in your favor. So I'm excited for it, and thank you, Zach, for stopping by there as well. I'm seeing everyone having some fun in the chat there with those little emojis. I don't know what those are called, but there's like
Yeah, they'd
stickers or
be,
something.
yeah,
Yeah, whatever
something
those
like
are.
that.
Well, thank you, Blaine, and once again for
Yes,
joining
sir.
me for this thing. Thank you, Keith, for getting the ball rolling for this, and of course the Rubinos for the league. We'll see you guys again from this very league, same time, same track, open setup on Tuesday night, and then of course Bomb Squad, Trucks, and Cup Wednesday and Thursday respectively. Yeah, we got a big week of racing here for you guys. I want to say that I will be streaming then next Tuesday again for the next Cup race. Can't remember where that is, but I will confirm that, of course, on Tuesday.
Yeah, we're in competition with you guys on Tuesday, man, because Tarnation's broadcasting at the Mobile 10.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
shoot.
at Kansas.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, I
Come and get
promise
it.
I will encourage everyone who's watching this right now have both streams open, and then you can
I was
flip
going
back
to
and
say,
forth.
yep, that's why I have a vertical monitor. So I can stack my YouTube streams of all the different broadcasts.
And there you go. Oh, yeah.
Yep. You
I
might
mean,
want
yeah,
to mute them all, though. You don't want to listen to all three at the same
that would
time.
be an awful lot. Oh, yeah. And plus, honestly, if you want the better quality broadcast from a broadcasting perspective, go to Blaine.
Thank you for the kind words. But yeah, anything anybody does for this community is awesome. I love that we have all these broadcasting channels. Like, you've got Top Dragster, you got TarnationTV, then there's FRN, and there's JTN, and there's Cook, and there's Fast 29. There's tons of them. Like we're all over the place. So if the content in a game that's been around this long and everybody's doing their thing, never a dull moment.
And there's still a big offline scene for it as well. I will always take the opportunity to shout out my good friend AG, the channel, Alex. What a fantastic job that him and Kura guys do on that channel for offline racing. It is absolutely amazing what they're able to do, and I would advise everyone to go subscribe to AG, the channel, as soon as you can, because you will not be disappointed.
Yeah, putting on a full production.
Absolutely. And Keith, since you just hopped in here, thank you for serving as the as our in race guy and for allowing us to put this on as well.
Oh yeah, that's fun. I asked before why they didn't do that. I know I wrecked out one time and went in the booth with Joe and just started pulling people in the broadcast room during caution and stuff. And Joe was like, "We don't do that." I said, "That's cool, man."
Hey, yeah, we try to bring something. Just keep spreading the word and just having some fun with it. And hey, that's all we do. And I had a blast tonight. So we're gonna wrap it up here, though. Thank you again, Blaine. Keith, stick around. Just want to confirm some stuff with you. But
yeah, I just wanted to tell y'all that we've had people that's already come back after watching and listening, and they were very impressed. So I want to thank y'all for the job y'all do. Great job.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks,
And
Keith.
thank you everyone also who's watching for the kind words. Feedback is always appreciated as well. We're trying to continue to improve it as we go. So I wouldn't be able to do it without all the help that I've had from guys like Blaine, like Joe, like Zach, and a lot of guys over at BSR as well, and some guys over at NNSCRA. They've all helped tremendously in making this happen and trying to get the word out. So looking forward to it. This is a busy week for streams, and we're going to be having a lot of fun with it. See you guys on Tuesday night here again, about 8:45-ish Eastern Standard Time for the Cup race here at Atlanta for the Hobo Racing League. But until then, though, congrats to Ryan Johnson on the victory. We'll see you guys this week. Stay safe and take care.